Hi, welcome. What if your tight shoulder, your tight jaw, your tight neck are not problems to fix, but signals to listen to? I learned something simple but powerful. The body won't release what it doesn't feel safe letting go of. And one of the fastest way we communicate safely is through the breath. Tonight we are not forcing relaxation or correcting anything. We are learning how to calm the system so real changes can finally happen. But before we go there, let me introduce myself to those who are new here. Hi, my name is Vincent Woon from Stressed Out Stress Free. We're here. I show people how to stay stress free by changing one habit at a time. In today's, and I'm also the author of the number one bestseller, Your Stress Stops Here. In this book, I talk about 10 strategies to change your habits in 59 seconds or less. And you can get a copy of these 3 chapters of my books by going to Stress Out Stress Free dot system systeme.io. I can just 3 chapters, or you can go ahead and scan the QR code to get the copies of the 3 chapters. For the last 4 weeks, we talk about stress awareness and reset foundation. Hi, Steve, how are you doing? It was pretty cold here in New York yesterday. My windshield was uh, my windshield was a little dirty, so I poured some water just to try to clean it up because the windshield wipers pump was not it was frozen. So what happened was I poured some water on the windshield, and the water just freeze right away, and I have to get the ice scraper to scrape the ice off. So it's crazy cold in New York this weekend. Anyways, last 4 weeks we talked about stress awareness and reset foundation. 1 second, let me just fix my face here. Oops. Okay, there we go. So the first week we talk about stress is physical, where we slow down enough to see what stress is really doing to our body and why it shows up before we even think about it. Week two we talk about your body remembers. Help us deepens the awareness of by exploring how stress repetition create holding and scar tissue, not as damage, but as protection. The body learns over time, and in week three we talk about good stress versus bad stress. We learn to tell the difference between stress that helps us grow and stress that quickly breaks us down, using signals and recovery as the guide. And week four, which was last week, was the missing link, where we bring everything together with the realization that awareness itself is the first form of healing, because when the body feels seen and safe, it's no longer it no longer has to hold as tightly as it wants to. So those 4 weeks wasn't about stress management; it was about stress understanding, and that's the foundation. Well, that brings us to this next 4 weeks, and the theme for this next 4 weeks is breathe, and your nervous system. And the title for today is Why Shallow Breathing Keeps You Tense. Why is that? Right. Before I get started, I want you to notice now. You are sitting right now. No need to do anything, just notice. And if you're new here, my work, whether it's massage, movement, or these live streams, always start in the same place. We calm the system before we try to fix the pain. So tonight isn't about correcting posture. It's not about stretching harder. It's not about doing more, but it's about teaching your body that it's safe enough to let go. Now, let me ask you something. Who here? One second, my thing just popped away. Where's my question? Now, let me ask you something, right? Who here? Okay, the question is who here notice they hold their breath when they are stressed? Let me know in the chat. And I want you to be honest, right? Okay? The question was who here notice they hold their breath when they are stressed? How many of you do that? Be honest and let me know in the chat. Anyone clenching their jaws and lifting their shoulders right now? Even though you are just sitting? Put a Y or a 1 or 2 or just let me know you're acknowledging that. That's not a coincidence. That's your nervous system talking. Now let's talk about stress and shallow breathing. Most people think stress lives in the mind, but stress actually shows up in the body first. When we are stressed, we shift into what we call the sympathetic nervous system that alerts and protective states. And the fastest way your body shows that is your breath. Shallow breathing tells the brain one very simple thing: we are not safe. Stay tight. Let's break it down gently. Chest breathing, holding the breath while staring at the screen. Swallowing side, because now's not the time. And here's the part most people miss. You don't have to feel stress for your body to be in stress. I have seen when someone comes in with a chronic neck tension, they stretch, they foam roll, they get massage. But when I watch them breathe, their chest barely moves. The belly is locked, and their breath stops every time I touch a tender spot. So even though they are doing all the right things, their body stays guarded. Not because they are resistant, but because no one ever told them the nervous system is what no one ever told them their nervous system was safe. That's what we are changing tonight. All right, let's do something very simple together. No fixing, just no improving. Place one hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly. Don't change your breath yet. Just breathe the way you normally do. Notice which hand move more? Let me know in the chat which hand move more. For a lot of people, it's the chest. That's not wrong. It's adaptive. It just means that your body learn to stay alert. Right? Let's do this. Try this one more time again. Place one hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly. Don't change your breathing yet. Just breathe the way you normally do. Which hand move more? Let me know in the chat. For a lot of people, it's the chest. That's not wrong. Because why? Because it's adaptive. It just means that your body learns to stay alert. Now, without forcing anything, see, you can let the breath drop at a little lower. No pushing, no big inhale, just space. We are not doing any breath work. We are not trying to calm down. We are just listening. And when the body feels listened to, it starts to soften on its own. Here's something I want you to remember. Muscle responds to nervous system tone. If your nervous system feels tightened, threatened, muscles tighten. Not to annoy you, but to protect you. So tight muscles aren't the problem. They're just strategy. They are the strategy, and breathe. Breath is how we speak to the nervous system. Stretching without calming the breath is like trying to relax someone while you're yelling at him and them. They might stretch, but they won't let go. This is why people say things like, "I stretched, but it didn't stick. I got a massage, but the tension comes right back." The body didn't fail. It just never felt safe enough to change. All right, you want to say, here are some common questions that people may ask. Why do I get dizzy when breathing deeply? Have you ever felt that before? Let me know in the chat. Still, have you ever felt like when you do breathing, do you feel that dizzy or is dizzy? When you breathe deeply? Because your system isn't used to that much input. Dizziness isn't danger, it's unfamiliarity. Why do I sigh at the time? Because your body is trying to regulate, try to normalize. I want to say this clearly. Your body is not broken. It's intelligent, and it's been adapting to for a long time. Let me ask you another question. Where in life do you think your body learns it to where in your life do you think your body learned it had to stay braced? Let me know. Hi, Steve M. Steve M. First of all, we really welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve M. says, sometimes I don't realize that I'm shallow breathing. Well, first of all, we want to welcome you first. It's true. Sometimes when you when you do shallow breathing, you don't realize why, because let me go back to my screen again. So you don't realize because that you are breathing shallow, because why? Because we are normally used to it, and it's the way that the body is telling us it's okay. It's trying, because it's trying to make it trying to regulate it and it normalize it. That's why, because your body is smart, it will not, it will help take care of the problem, but you take care of the problem by doing the shallow breathing instead of doing the deep deep breathing. That's why. Okay. Good question, Steve. So, for your homework this week, Steve, we give homework here every week, just so you know, which is good to help you. I want you to just notice your breath when stress shows up. When you're at your computer, in traffic, or during a conversation, or even maybe at your screen, or maybe at your screen when you look at your phone, or no, or phone, and not just no fixing yet, but just controlling. Just be aware. Thank you. I have reminded myself to take deep breath. Yes, you can do that. Sometimes what I do is I had to remember to do that too. What I do is I have a reminder app here called what is the app called already? I forgot. It reminds me every morning. I still forget. So you get one of the reminder apps, right, to remind you to. Oh, it is called Habit app. You can get it from. If you're Apple fan, you get it from Apple, and then if not, go to your store, and I mean, go to the App Store and get it. It's called Habit. So I have one here that's I use that to remind me every half an hour I have to drink some water. So I just to create the drinking habit, water, not drink alcohol. That's the best way to remind you. Or sometimes people use the Pomodoro to help them to as a reminder too. So yes. So again, once again, this week's homework is just notice your breath when you are stressed. When stress shows up at your computer, or while driving during traffic, or during conversation, or at the screen or your phone. There's no fixing it, no controlling. Just be aware of it. Okay. Well, if you find this helpful, please like. Okay, don't forget to like and share this with a friend or your coworker or your family. And you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when we go live. Next week, we're going to talk about why you can't stop yawning. So make sure you stay tuned next week. And don't forget, you can get a free copy of my book, the free chapter of my book, by going to stressoutstressfree.system.io /free chapters, or you scan the QR code right here. Get a copy of that. or you can get it at the link right there. Click on the link right there. You can get to a copy of that, copy of the free chapter, or scan the QR code. So you can do that. I want to thank you for being here. I'm going to leave the QR code there. Thank you for being here. Remember, working hard doesn't have to mean burning out. You want to insert the micro moments. Take care of yourself. Notice those small stress signals. Don't forget why shallow breathing keeps you tense. You can support us by going to buymeacoffee.com. /Winston Moon. Or you can support us by clicking on the super chat or super thanks. All right. So until next time, I see you. Take good care and be well. Leave the QR code right there. You can connect with me on Stress at Stress Out Stress Free and Facebook, Stress Out Stress Free in Instagram, and also at Winston Woon in X, or at Winston Woon NYC in TikTok. Okay. Stay stress free and be well. And I see you next video.